each other. Nothing we have to lie about. Oh, loving you, just confusion.
Hey y'all, listen. A bitch got her bare hole doing a thing. I woke up. I had me a little pink Moscato that's been down there in the Frigidaire for a couple of weeks on ice. I'm gonna have me a little drink. I done laid down and took me a old nasty piece of nap. But I intend on going back to sleep to get my beauty rest, honey. Listen, Diva, what is it about these bitches that believe? Honey, let me tell you something. Here's the whole thing, honey. At the end of the day, you know what, my grandbabies ain't gonna never, and I mean not ever. You know what both of my husbands knew? That's courtesy of the Sparkle soundtrack, right? I'm more of a giving him something he can feel type of bitch. Okay? Not a I ain't never scared type of bitch. So if I'm gonna shake my pussy, first and foremost, if I'm gonna shake my pussy, it ain't gonna be on motherfucking line. Okay? And when I do shake my pussy, that's something that neither of my husbands ever had to worry about. They ain't never got to worry about going on a website. And I've been separated for 3 years. But it ain't a website on the planet that my husband gonna ever be able to go to, that my sons, that my nephews, that my grandsons would ever be able to go to see their, then they might see their grandmama getting the bitch all the way together and gathering a bitch and packing a bitch up and sending her on her way, but they ain't gonna never see their grandmother in no twerk motherfucking contest. So all it takes to bring out the insecurity and get these bitches performing like a bunch of motherfucking chimpanzees in a motherfucking zoo is to get these bitches in their feelings and bring that insecurity that you already knew was there to the motherfucking surface. See, bitch, I'm not gonna come on YouTube or nobody else's tube. I'm not shaking my pussy or shaking my ass or twerking for nobody but my motherfucking dude. Okay? Period. But it's interesting to me because from my perspective, if you were that talented at twerking and if you were that talented at selling your pussy and if your pussy was that good, bitch, you would actually be a kept bitch and not a bitch that had to stand in a motherfucking Taco Bell for 8 motherfucking hours a day, coming home smelling like tacos, smelling like a bitch that got troubles, that been packaging up tacos, right? All motherfucking day long. You come home smelling like tacos. See, if you gotta come home smelling like a bitch that got troubles, been packing tacos, and smelling like you've been twerking for 8 motherfucking hours, bitch, if you don't get somewhere and sit your 40 plus motherfucking year old ass the fuck down, you stupid, idiotic motherfucking bitch, that apparently the bitches in your chat don't have the courage or the particular fortitude to tell you the fucking truth. You look like a goddamn fool. You're such a good twerker. Your pussy is such the shit. But bitch, at the end of the day, where is the marriage certificate and the motherfucking man to verify it, bitch? See, when a bitch gets to talking about how good her pussy is and how good she can twerk, bitch, I'm gonna ask you to show your motherfucking work. And considering the fact that you have the freedom to get online and twerk. I think it's fair to assume that ain't nobody claiming your motherfucking ass in the whole motherfucking state of Texas, bitch. So at the end of the goddamn day, bitch, fuck you and the bitch you were doing the motherfucking twerk for tacos motherfucking contest with, you raggedy motherfucking bitch. At the end of the day, you know what you proved, bitch? See, you proved with bitches like you that think you slick. The bitches that get up here and pretend, right, that they are bitches with class and that they different. See, you know who bitches like you think you can finesse? You think you can finesse a street nigga like ZX. And where you bitches are always going to get it caught up is that they see it too. They know you a motherfucking hood rat and they treat you as such. They just use you dumb bitches just like ZX did for your motherfucking platform. And then when they're done with you, bitch, they throw you aside like yesterday's trash. And then bitches like you get in your feelings, right? And you want to try to pull other individuals, right, into a situation that you yourself are responsible for, because at the end of the day, bitch, if you got finesse, then you and you alone will be the bitch to blame for it. That's not to take anything away from the predator that ZX is. But it's to point out the fact that a lot of fucking times these bitches do shit willingly, knowingly, and then pretend to be a motherfucking victim. Now, if you get up here and you participate in a twerk contest where you're shaking your fucking pussy and shaking your fucking ass, and a nigga come online and call you a bunch of trifling ass bitches and a bunch of motherfucking hoes, don't get in your feelings, bitch. Don't get in your feelings. Don't get all teary and run around this motherfucker presenting yourself as a victim, because you presented yourself, right, as one thing. And one thing I know for a certainty about niggas is that they're going to treat you accordingly. So at the end of the day, bitch, do you have any takers? I'm talking about the type of takers that would take a bitch like you out on a date. And we're not talking about a date that would include your discount at Taco Bell, bitch. Do you have any takers that would take you seriously? A man that would want to claim a bitch like you publicly? Because when you can show me that, bitch, when you can show me a marriage certificate, when you can show me an engagement, when you can show me a fucking commitment, when you can show me the ability to maintain a motherfucking relationship, then I'll be impressed. Other than that, bitch, I'm not impressed with a twerk for motherfucking tacos contest. When it's said and done, that's all, the beautiful soul. That's all you ever have to do. I'm sorry. The word is thank you. Because see, when I told you that you had to get your numbers up, that didn't include you being a bum of the beef sector, you being a bum and a bottom feeder of the beef sector, right? That doesn't have the ability to captivate an audience off of your own merit. See, when you have to address me in order to get your numbers up, where I come from, that doesn't count, bitch. See, you got to be able to do those numbers when you're not addressing me, bitch. I'm a cyber rock star, bitch. Get into it. And I ain't never shook my ass, ain't never participated in no goddamn twerk contest or any of that other shit that you silly, insecure, low self-esteem having, low vibrating bitches have had to resort to. And the niggas still love me, bitch. And guess what? They still want to fuck me too, bitch. And I guarantee when I come on camera over the next couple of days, bitch, as I'm preparing for the holidays with my family and things, and you'll hear the little pitter patter of my grandbabies running around, tearing up the motherfucking house and eating all that home baked from scratch food that their grandmama made. I can guarantee you, bitch, the niggas are still going to be checking for me, bitch. Get into it. That's the difference. All I have to do is show, listen, bitch, my Scorpio energy, my Scorpio, right? Energy, right? It actually caresses a nigga's dick before I say anything, bitch. They like that resistance. They listen, I don't care what these niggas tell you. They enjoy the chase. They enjoy the chase. And the more you tell them they can't have it, the more intrigued they are. And that's just the fact of the matter. So at the end of the day, bitch, I'm not impressed. The only people that were impressed were the other whores in your chat that think and operate just like you do. That's the reason why there's a decline in marriage. The truth of the matter is no fucking man, no real man wants his woman online shaking her pussy, her titty, and her fucking ass. He wants to know that that is his woman and his woman alone. Not something that he has to share with every other nigga in the world, every other nigga in the community. What man do you know that wants a bitch that the minute that he walks out the door, he has to worry about this bitch hitting a live button and shaking her ass on YouTube or ha and kiki it in some other nigga's face? See, that's why at the end of the day, bitches like you will always be used. Because certainly if I'm a female and I can clock you, the nigga that you were trying to impress when you came slithering over here into the black sector, trying to pretend that you were a bitch that was above the fucking fray, only to be finessed out of your platform any motherfucking way and then sent on your motherfucking way, which led to you getting into your motherfucking feelings. When at the end of the goddamn day, what it should have been is a fucking lesson learned. But what you showed, right? What you basically confirmed is what the fuck we already know. You're not perceived as some smart bitch that has any intelligence. You don't lead with your intelligence, bitch. You lead with your ignorance. And what bitches like you never bank on is that niggas from the street already know that. That's how they're able to play with you bitches like a bunch of motherfucking puppets. Because they know what makes you tick. So all they know, or so what they do know, is that all they have to do is pretend that they actually see you as anybody different. They have to actually lead you to believe that they actually see you as being better than the other women that they're weaponizing you against. And dumb bitches like you fall for it, a dime a dozen. So you weren't doing anything impressive when you got over there and pretended to care about black things that pertain to black people, the stereotypes that black people fall under. See, when you get up there and you try, right? And you do a piss poor job at it, trying to articulate the Queen's English, nevertheless, sounded like a goddamn nigga bitch all the same. I've never heard a bitch that even when you try to sound intelligent, you still sound like a bitch that escaped from the motherfucking plantation in the midnight hour, bitch. Again, I'm sorry if that got you in your feelings, but the fact of the matter is, Demetria lit all day, bitch, you're not lit in the morning. You're not lit all day. You're not lit in the evening. You're not lit at noon. Bitch, you're not lit in the motherfucking midnight hour. Bitch, again. I'm still waiting for this. I'm still waiting for this lit shit to appear, bitch. When are you going to be lit? Twerk for tacos, queen. You'll be lit, bitch, when you have something to show for it. When you can look around you and your life exudes. No, bitches running to the store back and forth. Bitch, you aren't able to buy a goddamn case of motherfucking beer. This bitch is still in her motherfucking 40s running back and forth to the motherfucking bitch. You can't afford to buy cigarettes by the carton. Why are you running back and forth to the store every fucking day to buy cigarettes and beer and weed too? You don't have a plug you can call and they deliver the shit to you? You can't sit in the comfort of your home and that same phone that you use to connect to the internet and all that other shit. You can't make a phone call and have a case of beer delivered. You can't buy your cigarettes by the carton. That's what I would like to see. Go into wherever you all buy your cigarettes down there in Texas and buy your cigarettes by the carton, bitch. Show us you drinking cases of beer. In Philadelphia, we call them state stores. In Charlotte, they call them the ABC store. I don't know what they call them down there in Texas. You see how this bottle of wine has been chilling in my refrigerator over several weeks? And I have other liquors downstairs. So if I wanted a drink, I still have liquor left over from my birthday. If I wanted a drink, I don't have to get up and go to a bar. I can go downstairs in my house and pour me a drink. And then go in my refrigerator and get ice cubes. And enjoy me a tasty motherfucking libation, bitch. I don't have to get up, go outside with my dog, and go buy a case of beer or a motherfucking can of beer, bitch, to get through the shakes. If you have to get up in the morning and go reach for a motherfucking alcoholic beverage or some old leftover motherfucking beer that the dog probably pissed in when you passed out the night before, I'm sorry, bitch, but I just don't see how your twerking has benefited. How has your twat benefited you? You're still in your 40s twerking. You don't have a man to perform for? Because if your pussy was so superior, like you said in that little snippet I heard over there on Hennywise's channel, if you could sell your pussy, honey, you wouldn't be wrapping tacos in burritos. You wouldn't be making rice bowls with black beans, bitch. If your pussy was anywhere near as good as what the fuck you seem to think that it is. So no, I don't have any cash apps for you, bitch. Will bird feed do? Can I give you some breadcrumbs? Like the motherfucking bird, the batshit crazy bird that you are, bitch. I don't have anything for you but breadcrumbs, bitch. You don't even get, again, you don't get a full hour. When I said get your numbers up, that meant you being able to do that off of your own merit, not because you're addressing me. You are a bum of the fucking beef sector, a bottom feeder. But I do have to say, it lets you know, right? When you address me and your numbers, you do better in your numbers than what you've done for the last 6 months, bitch, that means that I am the clout and you're not. So despite your twerk contest, nothing about that has changed. So I absolutely refuse to give a bitch like you a whole bunch of energy. Okay? You mule face motherfucker, modern day motherfucker minstrel show, you're still a miserable bitch. Okay? Point blank, period. You still are the bitch that if a nigga were to fall asleep on your motherfucking couch hole, he would wake up to you sucking his dick right out of the zipper hole. You're still that bitch. That's all your little twerk for tacos contest prove, bitch. You are the bitch that a nigga would not be, and I'm talking about a random nigga that you met at the bar before, that you met at the bar the night before. You're that whore that a nigga will fall asleep on a bitch's couch and wake up and your dick will be in his dick will be in your mouth, sucking dick straight out the zipper hole. Nothing. Listen, you just confirmed what the fuck I already knew. You know what else you confirmed, bitch? Listen, at the end of the day, you confirmed what street niggas like ZX already know, bitch. All he had to do was tell you that you was different, right? Call you queen, and he could come over there and use your platform like the dumb bitch that he knew you were, like the bitch that was on his dick that he knew that you were. Get what he wanted from your dumb ass, and then toss you aside like yesterday's trash. That's the purpose. See, I feel like bitches like you are necessary for the hood ecosystem. You're necessary. Listen, bottom feeders. Listen, we need bottom feeders like that so they can occupy the time of niggas like ZX. That's the purpose that you serve. So don't ever feel, if you ever feel like you don't have a place, well, that is your place. It's kind of like the scavengers that feed off of the algae and the shit in the fish tank. So I'm sorry if I said that, you're worthless. No, you're not worthless. You're a bottom feeder, and bottom feeders have a purpose to serve too. When you can stop being in your 40s, running around the motherfucking internet, panhandling for penis, bitch, again, I'm going to need you to pick a struggle. You can't be a promiscuous bitch. You can't be a panhandling for penis type of bitch. You can't be a suck a dick through the zipper hole type of bitch. Okay? And then be a bitch that's impoverished. There's a clash. That's a conflict of interest. Diva, it's a conflict of interest to be promiscuous, to panhandle for penis, and still be impoverished. I can't even call you a Clydiva reloaded because at the end of the goddamn day, Clydiva collects her coins. It doesn't matter whether she gets her coinage from the niggas or the bitches. At the end of the day, she's able to secure a bag. You just look like a bag. Okay? A barf motherfucking bag. I'm going to need you to know the difference. I'm going to need you to first secure a bag. Show how that twerking, show how that good pussy can result in you buying your cigarettes by the carton instead of the pack. Show how your twerking and your good pussy can result in you doing more than going to the fucking local delicatessen and buying your beer by the 6-pack. No, bitch, we need to see a couple of cases. Okay? And don't you have no excuse because the way you drink, bitch. Okay? Again, here you have a bitch that drinks like a motherfucking fish. But you're up here talking about how good your fish is. But any coinage that you get goes to supporting your motherfucking alcoholism. Bitch, you're aging in dog years. I've seen motherfucking Dalmatians age more gracefully, bitch. You almost look like a motherfucking Dalmatian hunched over like that, shaking your motherfucking ass. Nobody comes onto the internet for that, bitch. They usually, and men are visual creatures. Yes, they like the visualization, but they like the sexiness. They like the softness. They want to feel that sensuality. I'm sorry. I, Again, that's probably what song comes into a nigga's head when he goes to fuck you from the back, bitch. You are a fuck from the back only type of bitch. Because a nigga don't want to wake up the next morning and have to live with what the fuck he did. When you can successfully have a nigga fuck you face to face, bitch, then maybe you'll be worthy of getting in the ring and going 12 rounds with me, bitch. I don't get fucked from the back, bitch. Okay? Not first anyway. Because I can't throw that ass back. Okay? But again, bitch, I don't get fucked from the back first. You're the type of bitch that gets fucked from the back, and then the only motherfucking thing you see is the back of nigga's head leaving out of the motherfucking door, bitch. You don't count. Sorry, not sorry. I don't think that an Isaac, and listen, I was over there watching Pastor Wilson. And listen, I got to looking at Chocolate Bay, and I know Chocolate Bay is openly gay, but honey, let me tell you something. That was what was on when I woke up. And listen, honey, I got the inspiration. I had to go listen to an old couple of Teddy Pendergrass songs, honey. And I saw Mother. And Mulan was there with an old nasty piece. A blonde wig on, honey. So yes, listen, that is Diva. Teddy is our original beard gang. And listen, I was watching Chocolate Bay on that panel, and it was just giving me Teddy Pendergrass vibes. Made the old bitch have to go click. I saw you there too, Yusef. Okay? But Auntie had to go get her old nasty piece. Listen, I had to go see Teddy gyrating in concert over there in Sweden, honey. Anybody that got a beard that looks that good, Diva, got to have some good dick. Anybody that can gyrate those hips, that got that motherfucking, speaking of your tacos, that got that taco meat and them little gold chains on, honey, got to have some old dick. You got to ask an old bitch about that shit. Yes. So I was watching Teddy Pendergrass gyrate with that taco meat coming through them chains, honey. And listen, I had to loosen up my nightgown a little bit. Listen, so then I go, listen, and I go from that, Hennywise, you ain't shit. And I go to scrolling down my damn timeline. I love Hennywise, though. I go to scrolling down my timeline, and oh, Lord Jesus. But Hennywise, you know what I'm going to thank you for? I'm going to thank you for the fact that you did obscure those images. So you spared me from having cataracts in my 40s before I reached 50 years old. So I do, if I thank you for nothing else, I thank you for that. But I do thank you for the service that you perform. Okay? That's necessary on YouTube. You give us all the sound clip, you get all the juicy sound bites and all the cliffhangers. Honey, listen, that's one instance when I was glad. I was glad that I did not get a full image. I'm glad that the image was obscured a little bit, for copyright infringement purposes. Okay? So I do thank you for that. But I went from looking at that beautiful specimen of a chocolate thing on that panel to watching Teddy Pendergrass and oh honey, it took me, I got all nostalgic. A bitch had to loosen up her nightgown again. Any man that got legs that long got to have some good dick. I'm telling you. Anybody that sweats like that when they sing a song got to have some good dick. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. So I go from that to looking at this ratchet, insecure motherfucking bitch shaking her motherfucking ass, and bitch, you still need a motherfucking interpreter. Bitch, are you speaking in chimpanzee? Tell me listen, what monkey, which primate family do you come from, bitch? I will make every effort to find an interpreter that speaks your fucking language, bitch. You're still in your inability to articulate the Queen's English, bitch, is still there. If you walk up to a man and ask him to suck his dick, he wouldn't understand you, honey. He would not understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. What did Martin say, bitch? Use your vowels. Use your vowels, honey. This bitch gotta do sign language to suck a nigga's dick. Bitch, you would have to stick your thumb in your motherfucking ear and wave your motherfucking fingers and let a motherfucker know you wanted to give him a blowjob, bitch. No, we need you. And listen, if your pussy is the quality that you profess and claim that it is, we need you to invest that in a tutorer that can help you with the English language. You need an English tutor, honey. Less 211, less twerking, and more tutoring, bitch. All down there in Texas with all those great fine learning institutions. Surely a professor, if you are, listen, somebody has to be willing to take you up under their tutelage and teach you something. Because apparently in your motherfucking age, listen, I don't blame your goddamn kids for not wanting to come around, bitch. They wouldn't be embarrassed. But that's one thing my children and my grandchildren are never. They might hear their grandmother cussing to high heaven, but they ain't gonna never go to nobody's website and ever see. Their mother will never be disgraced in that way. Their grandmother will never be disgraced in that way. There will never be a motherfucking nigga online. I take those pictures for no motherfucking body other than my goddamn husband and a man that I am in a committed motherfucking relationship with. That is the only man that has ever got and the only man that will ever get those type of videos of me. Okay? My pussy is not to be shaken. It sounds like macaroni and cheese is being stirred. Shaken. No, bitch. This ain't the shaking type of pussy. This is the type of pussy you got to stir in, bitch. I want to hear that, diva. I want to hear that macaroni and cheese. Stirring, honey. I want it to sound like a, listen, you know when you stir in the macaroni and cheese before you put it in the oven and you working that cheese in there, you working the butter and the seasoning and all of that shit into that macaroni and cheese, honey. So he got to have a strong, listen, it got to be a strong spoon stirring, honey. Period. So no, when it's said and done, it's pathetic. And listen, you are no less of a motherfucking bottom feeder than you were before the twerk contest, bitch. I don't see you as any less of a fucking bum of the beef sector than I did before you did the video, bitch. Okay? My opinion still hasn't changed. The only motherfucking thing with a bitch like you, you know what? You know what's going to be lit? I think I take that back. You know what's going to be lit? That pH level when you go to the clinic to get rid of them goddamn STDs. After them hood niggas finish running in you, bitch, because that's the only motherfucker that you're fucking down there where you live at. Mexicans and hood niggas. You probably done fucked and sucked a couple of dicks for motherfucking tacos. Okay? You the type of bitch, listen, the bitch probably done fed her dog tacos. Start making that hoe show you that dog bowl. She probably stealing tacos from her motherfucking job to feed that dog because the bitch ain't got the money to pay her rent, her motherfucking bills, and to buy dog food, her liquor, her beer, her weed, and her motherfucking cigarettes. That dog is probably surviving off of Taco Bell. Stop stealing from your job to feed your dog, bitch. Include his dog food in your monthly expenses, bitch. Period. So yes, I enjoyed. Well, I gotta go back and watch the watch the whole I watched the whole live stream because when I woke up it was a little bit well I think it had been going on for a couple of hours. I saw Yusef I forget the other the dude that comes on that wears the glasses that says he likes to read. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but I don't know him too well. But I saw Pastor Wilson and I saw Mother in Mulan on the panel, and Yusef, and of course Chocolate Bay. So yeah, so hopefully I'll be live tomorrow, y'all. It won't be a Savage Sunday sermon. I'm gonna take a little break. I'm going to give my voice a break, certainly for the holidays, because when the holidays come around, I like to be in the mood for the festivities. That's the time when you're supposed to be happy. So I have a lot of family coming in from out of town. My mom is going to come down. And of course, as you know, I can't stand my motherfucking aunt. So no, y'all bitches. And I gotta tell my mom every year, Mom, no. Okay. Now I can't stop them from coming to my mom's house, but I can't stop y'all goddamn I can't stop you sluts from coming to my house. No, you can't come. I'm quite sure between now and Thanksgiving, my mom will try to ask a couple of more times. No, I don't want them hoes in my house. Okay. Period. So I'm going to give my voice a couple of days. My grandbabies are coming up from down south. And of course, their daughters, my daughters. So that means my daughters are coming up. So I want to be in the spirit for the Thanksgiving holidays. So I'm going to take a little time off from the actual, beefing or going back and forth. If I gotta gather a bitch and get a bitch all the way together, listen, it ain't gonna be something I'm gonna be putting a whole bunch of energy into. And my those of you that have been following me for a while know already at the end of the day, I was, I love the beef sector, but that's not necessarily the sector that I was attempting to, break into. I love a good drag. I have my faves in the beef sector, but true crime is actually my thing, and that's the direction. If you see the changes that are taking place on YouTube, um, the last time I seen these type of significant changes taking place on YouTube, YouTube started basically snatching motherfuckers' channels and snatching monetization. Okay, so the fact that they removed they've removed that option of that dislike button, because as they talk with other content creators, something that became evident to them is that people were using that, as a way to kind of like cyberbully content creators. Yes, with a dislike button. Okay, so a lot of when YouTube starts making changes like that, they're going to start making some changes to the way to what is allowed on the platform and what isn't. And not only are they going to be snatching monetization or making it more, they are almost going back, because I heard Tracy talking about it. And those of you that have been, even if you haven't been a content creator for that long, if you were a subscriber And you remember when YouTube did that mass snatching of the monetization. People like the older content creators remember when it used to be very difficult. It wasn't always easy to get monetized. So it seems like to me that they're not going to make it harder for you to actually get monetized, but they're going to make it more difficult for you to be able to monetize certain types of content. That's the reason why you have to do so much editing of the curse words. You even have to be careful when it comes to true crime, because they lose their monetization just because of the graphic nature, because of the type of content that it is. So when I see YouTube doing things like that, that's almost like my heads up that they're getting ready to start making some in their the videos where they're telling you that there's going to be a lot of changes, just like when they implemented changes happening to the algorithm, and that there was the whole learning curve with that. You're gonna have to do something more than know how to beef. There has to be some sort of balance there. And it's not to say that I think that's one of the benefits of having multiple platforms, because when you have a platform like Patreon, or when you have private Zoom meetings and that sort of thing, you can loosen up the belt loops a little bit. I think you can use your YouTube platform for promotion of those events. You can give people almost like a sample of what they'll actually get if they were to come to another platform. But you really have to, at some point, kind of like up your content. Purging, right, Kels? Thank you. Yes, Candy Girl. Absolutely. So those that have been here those that have been here for a while, when you start seeing things like that, and them doing things like removing the dislike button, and they're going through, they have the people that are at the top of the food chain in terms of teaching you how YouTube operates, putting information out there, taking you through the process of how to succeed in the next year. They're not even talking about this year. They're telling you how to basically how to survive going into throughout 2022. So that means that they already have inside information. Okay, so it's nothing wrong with beefing over. I mean, again, like I was saying last night, you've had stand-up comedians since you've had stand-up comedians since forever. I don't think that that's ever an aspect of entertainment that's ever going to die out or go away. But I'm talking about on a platform like YouTube, it's going to be censored to a certain extent, especially if you have a crude type of humor. So it'd be a good idea, in my opinion, well, at least for me, to get out ahead, so that way you're not taken by surprise and just wake up one day, you got a monetized platform, the next day you can't monetize shit, or they turn around and snatch your channel, or it becomes easier to flag channels. All of that shit with flagging, all that strategic flagging, all of that shit is getting ready to change. Mark my words. Trust what I tell you. And they're going to start penalizing the people that do that, especially if it's false flagging. Mm-hmm. Hey, Tracy 3. So I was glad to, I got to go back and go back and watch that stream. I start certain stuff I start I start putting my little playlist together. Certain stuff I actually start preparing like in advance, like over the next couple of days. I'll start to prep for certain things like my pies and my cakes and all of that stuff like that. Um, so this is going to be the first time that I'm actually cooking that I'm actually cooking at my house in a couple of years. You know, I've been going to my relative's house over the last couple of years, but this year I'm going to be doing all the cooking. So and I do all the cooking myself. Mhm. Mhm. A view said I unmonetized my channel months ago. I'm trying to do some things for it, right? You know. I don't really know, Candy Girl. I don't really follow a lot of rappers, but I can talk about that. I think my sons would know more. My son probably knows a little bit more, and he's coming in from Boston. He'd be from Boston. He went to see his best friend in Boston, so he'll be coming. He should be here sometime today. So I'll ask him about it because he knows more like those young rapper guys, like the young rapper guys. Like I know Gotti, you know, that's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite rappers, Yo Gotti. But I've been seeing the reports of it. But I would have to say, if I had to say anything, I would have to say, based on what I seen, what video footage I was able to see, that looks like a contract killing to me. Because keep in mind, that wasn't that dark. That wasn't a murder that happened at dark. Anytime you see a crime that brazen, it just says to me that was something like that was like a contract killing. But again, I would have to go and do a little bit more. But it looked like to me, I don't even think that was actually, those weren't even automatic weapons, was it? I thought I saw poles in their hands. So for something that when you see something that brazen like that, and they're fully prepared, that looks like a contract killing to me. But it was definitely brazen. But somebody knows, of course, some people know, plus somebody knows who did it. Do you really think that a crime like that would happen and it would just be the two people that actually committed the crime that only know who did it? It's a whole gang of motherfuckers that know exactly who did it. But you know what, that the other thing that tells you is that a lot of times, again, that goes back to feeling the need to prove something. Feeling the need, and when you think about it, a lot of those guys that get killed like that, that's because they have a whole bunch of hanger-ons. You have to understand, once you the community is going to try to keep you anchored down. That's a part of that, believing that even though you fucking made it, you still have to. We just seen it with the boy, with Nipsey Hussle. Of all the places, with the business mind that he had, trying to stay in the fucking community and deal with the people that you dealt with all your life. I don't give a fuck if you, I don't care if you dealt with them all your life. Motherfuckers are always watching. They're always pocket watching. And you never know who is jealous of your success. Seldom is it a person, I'm not going to say that it can't be a person that you really don't know. No, that those are people that are watching you. Those are people that know what you have in your house. Those are people that know how much money you have. Those are people that know you're going to be at this place at this time. No, that those robberies are not random. Stuff like that is never random. Nobody randomly gets that close to a rapper with fucking security guards and bodyguards and is able to rob them. Those are inside jobs. Nobody pulls up on somebody in broad daylight. Did he owe somebody some money? Did he owe somebody a drug debt? Did he have something to do with somebody else's family member being killed? Those are the only type of times that you see people pull up in broad daylight, pull out poles and choppers and just start airing people out. It's usually either retaliation or either it's those are contract killings. The whole thing is you have people that leave the hood and they worried about what motherfuckers in the hood are going to say. No, you're not supposed to work your ass off to get out of the motherfucking hood, but you in the hood every motherfucking day. Who the fuck do you feel the need to prove something to? In the event that you wanted to say, for instance, if you wanted to open, there's lots of things that you can do for the community. You can have a damn playground built. You can have a recreation center built. You can build a shelter. You can build a shelter for men. You can build a shelter for women. You can build a place where they give out a food. There's lots of things that you could do to give back to your community other than your black ass being in it every day. If you're in your hood every day and you ain't got the type of money that the motherfuckers in the hood got, the motherfucking wolves in the hood are going to be plotting on your motherfucking ass. And it's not going to be random strangers. It's going to be motherfuckers that are right there in your face that you're fucking entertaining. They have to be able to get you in a vulnerable position. A person that you don't know can't say, hey, walk with me here or go to this club, go to this spot or go to that spot with me. No, that has to be somebody that you know. That's usually who it is that bakes you into those type of situations, knowing the whole time they're luring you to your death. Even in the event that that is not their intent, if they don't, they know it's a motherfucking possibility you could be killed. If anything goes awry with a robbery, if you go to rob some motherfucking body, you have to know it's a possibility that if anything goes awry, that the person could possibly be killed. You can't be on and have a bunch of broke motherfuckers around you. That's why people would take that personally. Again, you cannot allow motherfuckers in the hood to tell you, okay, well, you forgetting where you came from. No, I'm not, motherfucker. I know exactly where I came from. That's why the fuck I'm not there no more. I know exactly where I came from. That's why I ain't there no more. That's why I'm not around those motherfuckers no more. Listen, at the end of the fucking day, you even have to be careful with allowing those motherfuckers to come visit you. You can't move out the motherfucking Beverly Hills and then take a bunch of hood niggas to fuck there with you to Beverly Hills, because what are those motherfuckers going to do when they get to Beverly Hills? Start plotting on how to rob your ass and all your motherfucking neighbors. That's just the fucking fact of the matter. Keep in mind, listen, here's the whole thing. This is where your backbone comes into play. You're not going to be able, you have to wrap your brain around the fact whether you're man, woman, chick, or child. You're not going to be able to take all of these motherfuckers with you. It is not your responsibility to carry all of these able-bodied motherfuckers on your back. You're going to have to trim the fat. And you have to have the backbone to do that. You know, at the end of the day, Beanie Sigel, being a native Philadelphian, I love Beans to death. He's one of my favorite rappers, but at the end of the fucking day, you can't be getting invited to motherfucking red carpet fucking events and then shooting motherfuckers on the strip or on 52nd in front of Mr. Silks. You can't. And then what that does, good morning, Mella, is put the people around you the fuck at risk. The people around you that have something to lose. Listen, bro, you fucking made it. There's other ways you could reach back and do things for the fucking community without having your black ass in it every day to prove to motherfuckers you ain't scared. Did you ever notice that sometimes, what was the young brother that just got killed? You got all of these. Listen, I'm telling you, that's an instance of where there was a rapper. I'm telling you, there are instances where motherfuckers have been killed, and you have a bunch of 10 motherfuckers around you. Everybody strapped to the nines. How the fuck does somebody come up close range? First of all, most people are not used to it. Listen, it's one thing to see it on TV. It's another thing to be standing there and watching motherfucker walk up to somebody and bow, blow their brains out. If you've never seen no shit like that before, if you're not accustomed to seeing shit like that, you're going to have a couple of reactions: fight, flight, or you're going to be frozen. A lot of times motherfuckers freeze, because it just is not normal. Again, what you have is a bunch of young people walking around in their fucking 20s and 30s with fucking PTSD, and they don't even realize it. It is not normal for young people in their 20s and 30s to be going to a couple of funerals every fucking week. Not even one funeral a fucking week, not even a fucking funeral a fucking month. It's not normal to see death and murder on a regular basis. That's the reason why veterans have PTSD. We used to call it shell shock. Now they call it PTSD. That's just not normal. And if you've never seen anything like that before, and what it does is it begins to desensitize you to death. I think I've been to more funerals in people under the age of 35 motherfucking years old than I have ever of older people dying from natural causes and sickness. Hanley, you know it, bro. They'll be standing right there. They listen. They will be. I remember when my girlfriend's son got killed a couple of blocks away from here. He had at least 10 people there. He's not the only person that happened. And then they always have a bunch of stories about what happened and this that. No, motherfuckers up that they be shook. There's no reason why something like that should ever be able to happen when you have people standing there with fucking weapons. And everybody is coming back again. And it's always the same thing before anybody realized what happened, or there was this distraction or that distraction or this, that, and all the other. No, the fact of the matter is, a lot of times it be motherfuckers that's really not about that action. Because the motherfucker that was really about that action is not going to be sleeping on a job like that. That's first and foremost. You're not going to be able to get that close up on a person. What happens is that they believe that because they roll with these entourages, that's some safety. That because you rolling in numbers like that, or because you roll with a whole gang of niggas, that's supposed to intimidate motherfuckers. No, because sometimes it's those motherfuckers that you rolling with that gonna line you the fuck up. That's point blank period. Those are the motherfuckers that set you up. The fuck do you need to be if you have already made it, you're successful, you have a damn mansion. What the fuck are you going back to the neighborhood for? For what reason? Good morning, Callie Jane. Good morning, Mella. Good morning, Sister Mary Clarence. Going back to the hood for what? You know when I would go back to the hood? Thanksgiving time. I'll give y'all niggas some turkeys, and I'm just telling y'all now. And listen, I will come, give y'all niggas some turkey, some motherfucking breadcrumbs, and a couple of stalks of motherfucking celery to get your dressing on, some cans of goddamn chicken broth, and some other shit. Okay? Go back, and you want to go back during the holidays. Have toy drives for the children. Go back during the holidays, have turkey drives for the families that are less fortunate. Open up a 501c, start a 501c, and get you an old nasty piece of soup kitchen and food pantry going on. And give out food once a month. You have people that donate to those type of organizations just so you can be able to get back, be able to give back. Start a goddamn community garden. Take the fruits and vegetables from that community garden and give it out to the people in the community that's less fortunate. Teach people how to garden. Do something else. Damn all of that shit. Child, please. You're going to have to trim the fat. Cut all those hanger-ons off, because a lot of times people keep people like that around them, believing that, oh, they got talent, I'm gonna help them get on. The whole time that person is there smiling and laughing in your face, envying everything that you have, plotting and scheming on how they can take what you have, and that includes your damn, if they have to take your life to do it, they don't give a fuck about your family. They don't care about who's going to provide for your family when you're gone. Do you really think that these motherfuckers that hang around, these people that make it, do you really think if they die today or tomorrow, that these motherfuckers look out for their families and make sure their families are good? No, the fuck they don't. They don't look out for their own motherfucking families. They talk a good game, but no, they don't. Go to one of these motherfuckers and tell them you would like listen, you got a business plan, business model. I would like to start a business, and see how much motherfucking support you get. See how much support you get. You know what these ignorant motherfuckers will tell you? Well, I'm going to pray on it. I'm going to pray for you. They ain't got no money to loan you. They ain't got no money to loan. They ain't got nothing for you. They're going to wish you the best and tell you that they're going to pray for you. So if for whatever reason, if you grind and grind and grind, whatever your gift, whatever your talent, whatever your business savviness is, no matter what it is, once you get out of you supposed to be, if you reach back for any motherfucking body, you supposed to be reaching back for your family first, to pull them up out of that situation so that they can be safe, so that they can live in, so that they can be safe. It's not your motherfucking job to carry the whole motherfucking community. The other thing is, you got to understand, a lot of these motherfuckers don't want anything different. They don't want anything better. They are comfortable where the fuck they are. What they want you to do is stay with them, and they want you to celebrate their niggotry. They don't understand they don't want no fucking peace. What? Peace and security. Child, please. Once you get the gist of that, once you realize that no, you're not going to and listen, that's a growing pain. And you will lose sleep many a nights because it's going to bother you. Because you don't want to part ways. Listen. How many times do you see where people reach back to bring somebody that they've known for their whole lifetime or known for several years, and they try to bring them on board. What happens? The motherfucker is stealing from them. You can make him the manager. You can make him your manager. You can give them a position within your company. What do you catch these motherfuckers doing? Stealing. Spending your motherfucking money like it's theirs. Exploiting their proximity to you, their access to you, your kind-heartedness, your willingness to share. And what happens is, have motherfuckers like that around you, and they will start to feel entitled. You give them a little bit of this, shit, you see them goddamn dynamics play out right here on YouTube. Give these motherfuckers a little bit of something. Guess what? It ain't gonna be enough. They gonna feel you could have or you should have done more. You could have or you should have done more. Oh, you did this? Okay, well, the person should, and they might not tell you that. They might not come out and say it right off the bat. They're going to start whispering behind your back first about what the fuck you could have or should have done. Those are just the facts of the matter. So out in off of virtuality, nothing is any fucking different. Even though you're the one doing the work, you're the one that's grinding, you're always going to have a motherfucker believing that they are entitled to what the fuck you have, even if it's not theirs. It's never going to be enough. So I think you have to understand. No, I don't think a lot of people start out with that mindset that, well, when I get on, I'm just going to shit on the people that I've been around. No, when you start seeing, that's why I said, when you see the beginning, when a motherfucker shows you who they are, believe them at the first sign. No, don't wait until listen, at the first sign of jealousy and envy. I don't give a damn whether it's a man or a woman. At the first sign of jealousy, envy, and a sense of entitlement, cut those motherfuckers off right then and there. When you see that sense of entitlement, when they give you sense of entitlement vibes, when you sense that jealousy and envious spirit and that competitiveness, and this is a motherfucker that you're trying to help or that you're genuinely supporting, and you sense that, cut that motherfucker off and don't ever look the fuck back. Don't give them an opportunity to come slithering back around. No, because ain't a motherfucking thing changed. Ain't a motherfucking thing changed. Trust your motherfucking instinct. No, not after they've done it the 9th or the 10th time. Trust it the first time you sense it. You can't say, for instance, a lot of times these guys, that are rich, like I'll just use the rappers, for example. They're afraid of people saying that when you got on, you changed or you got different, or they're worried about the motherfucker. Listen, here's the thing. When you look at these people that have these stories about how all these people got these stories about Jay-Z, has that stopped Jay-Z's bag? People can come forward and say he's this, say he's that. I'm just using him as an example. That has not stopped his bag. Motherfuckers will interview them, and after a while, it becomes evident that this individual is just looking to gain something because they feel entitled to some shit, or because they're jealous and they're envious. The same damn thing, you've seen the same thing with Jaguar Wright. It's not to take away from her gifts, it's not to take away from her talents. When Mary J. Blige, I think at some point fell out with Diddy, and I think it had something to do with when they brought Faith Evans on board. So there was like this little rift between her and Diddy. And then I think when she did the album Ooh, they got back together. And that's when, they had that, because her and Diddy have like this magic when it comes to him being able, or him being one of the ones that can bring the best out of Mary. But there was a time when there was a rift between them. Jaguar Wright coming back all of these years talking about what should have happened. Okay, yes, you're going to get interviews, and you're going to be milked for those interviews. When it's said and done, those interviews that you're giving are going to be far more beneficial to the individual that you're giving those interviews to than it's going to have an effect on the celebrity that you're talking about. Has that improved Jaguar Wright's lot in life? Is she now up there? Is she now a neighbor of Mary J. Blige? Does she now have the endorsements and the is she living next door to Mary J. Blige? Is she living next to any of those artists that she talked about? Or that she had so much inside tea on? Let her tell it. And even though I love Kaya, but at the end of the day, all of your stories about Trina does what for you? All of the stories that you have about Trina does what? Yes, you can be. It doesn't mean that you're not talented, but when it's said and done, that's also a business. A lot of decisions are made off of emotion when really what you're dealing with, it's a matter of business. Beanie Siegel took that, what happened between him and Jay-Z, personally, because there was supposed to be this loyalty, but at the end of the day, it is about business. It's not personal. They could have cut their business ties and still been, a lot of people intertwine the two. They tell people that all the time when it comes to, it's a perfect example of that. You know, Zapp and Roger, the one who made the song Computer Love. How, look at that type of tragedy where you have one brother killing another brother. These are blood brothers that kill each other over money. One is entrusted to run the business, to do the managing, to do the finances and all of that stuff like that for the business. And what is he doing? Because nobody wants to fire, nobody wants to fire their family member. But is it necessary? If it may be, If they can't seem to get it together, does that mean that you're not going to be family members just because you had to fire the motherfucker? No, that means that you're not working. You're not. It's not in my motherfucking best interest to keep you employed in that capacity. It has nothing to do with us being family members. It's about business. Again, if you are a celebrity as big as at that time as uh, state property was, and and you're under the umbrella of Jay-Z, no, you can't be out in the fucking hood on 52nd Street, which is a major strip here in Philadelphia. It's like where all of the vendors are. It's actually a masjid and stuff like that, but it's like a little shopping, like a little shopping strip, okay, in West Philly. You cannot, and used to be this bar called Mr. Silk's where the exotic dancers, both male and females, would be there. You can't shoot motherfuckers in front of Mr. Silk's and get cases for shootings. And we going to red carpet events, going to different award shows, and rubbing elbows with celebrities in Hollywood. So it was business. They could have ended that business relationship and still been friends. But a lot of times people intertwine the two. They don't look at it as this is a decision that's best for business. They'll take that personally. And that would be their issue. It doesn't mean that it won't bother you. It doesn't mean that you won't be affected by it, because you may be. But you just cannot make it out of the hood like that and then still be. Why was somebody like why was he in that area where he was? I have to do the research on the story, but it looked to me like it was just like a strip mall, something similar to where Nipsey Hussle was killed. He didn't have to be there in that damn store running that store. He could have had somebody in the damn store working for him. He could have had employees. That is the result of feeling the need to still be connected to, air quotes, the community. I'm still going to be in the community, and I'm still going to be accessible to my people. So I'm wondering, what in the world would he have been doing where I seen pictures of the where people had the memorial set up. What the fuck was he doing in that? What was he doing in that type of place, in that type of neighborhood, as a fucking celebrity? Same thing with the young boy that just got killed a couple of months ago. You got all of these people around you, this whole entourage every time you go some damn place. For what reason? What good does it do to have that many motherfuckers around you and you still get shot and killed? No, you're supposed to have damn bodyguards and security systems and all of that shit. No, you're not supposed to be of a certain celebrity status quo walking around the motherfucking community. You can't. It's just not, it's not safe. But I think they feel the need to prove something to somebody. I don't give a goddamn what you see in a damn video or what you see on, I don't give a damn what you see on a video. Meek Mills is not walking around North Philly no motherfucking where. Not without bodyguards. Even though he may have people in the community protecting him, or have people from the community that he has with him that he trusts to protect him and protect his life, trust and believe me, his motherfucking regular bodyguards are the fuck there too. He's not stupid. Yeah, in the videos, they're riding down the street on on bikes and all of that shit, four wheels and all of that shit. But they're not doing that with just surrounded by all hood niggas. Their bodyguards and their entourage is there as well. I think it's designed to make you think that Will Smith is from West Philly. He's not walking around West Philly with hood niggas to protect him because he's Will Smith from Philly. Jill Scott is not walking around Philadelphia with motherfuckers with Philadelphians to protect her just because she's from Philadelphia. Jasmine Sullivan is not walking around Philadelphia with native Philadelphians just because she's from Philadelphia, expecting them to protect her. Does that mean that they're somehow denying their roots? No. I think that there's other ways that you can give once you reach that celebrity status quo. There's other ways that you can give back to your community, that you can love on your community. You can even come to your community. I think it just has to be under certain circumstances. Yes, you can even go back to where you were born and raised. But I don't think you need a whole entourage of hood motherfuckers with you as you go. That it's not safe. History has proven that it's not safe. All of these rappers being murdered like that is indicative of the fact that it's not safe. It's not safe for the average layperson that's not a celebrity. So why would it be why would it be any different for them? And again, I just don't believe that a lot of times these are just total strangers. That these are not total strangers that commit these acts against them. So no, fuck no. You're not supposed to be a fucking millionaire still running around with the fucking bums in your fucking neighborhood that haven't went anywhere. A lot of times the motherfuckers don't go anywhere because they don't want to. They want to be, listen, they want to be hood rich niggas in the hood. Cause see, once you get out there, once you get in other communities, then the pressure is going to be there for you to cut. Yeah, it's easy for you to be hood fabulous and be around a bunch of motherfuckers that's starving. Yeah, if you around a bunch of motherfuckers that's starving and it's impoverished, yeah, you're going to look like you're going to look like you the rich motherfucker. When you get around other rich motherfuckers, not so much. The pressure is going to be there for you to continue to grind, for you to continue to hustle in order to keep up that lifestyle, to make the fucking mortgage payments on your fucking house and all of that other shit. And that's just I don't understand. Why I don't understand, like I said, yeah. It's easy to be around. It's easy, first of all, it's easy to be around and to have a bunch of hood people around you thinking that you have some type of upper hand because you got motherfuckers around you that are starving. But you also have to look at it. Um, you have to consider all variables. If you sitting around eating steak every motherfucking night, Even if you put steak on another motherfucker's plate, it's not a guarantee that they're not gonna want that they're not gonna still be hungry after they eat theirs and then want to eat yours. You can't sit around and eat steak and another motherfucker going to bed at night with a belly full of hot dogs and pork and beans and think they're not gonna feel some type of way. But a lot of times, people, even though they move out of the hood, they still take their hood mentality with them. And they use people like that for those reasons. Drug dealers do it all the time because they know this person is broke, because they know this person is struggling. Okay, well, let me get this person, let me get this person to do my dirty work for me. I want somebody killed. Okay, well, so I don't have to get my hands dirty. Let me go put this person that I know is willing to do anything in order to get some sort of recognition or to be able to make a couple of dollars. They're willing to do anything. And yes, that includes killing motherfuckers. But herein lies the problem with that. If a person would be willing to kill somebody because you wanted the person killed them because you're willing to pay them for it, what makes you think that they won't kill you for a price? That's a double-edged sword. So you always have to consider all variables, because what that says to a person that operates like that is first and foremost that this is a motherfucker that's really afraid to get their hands dirty. So the minute that you've done that, you've already put a target on your back. What are one of the ways where people rule or they drug deal with an iron fist? That's if they put in a lot of work. They have to uh they have to get active. If you have people under you, if they don't think that you will move out that way, or if they think that you're afraid to get your hands dirty, and here's the whole thing. You talk about niggas in the hood, they test you like that all the time. They're going to check your temperature. And if there's any hesitation or reluctance there, when they check your temperature to move out, or if they see you not willing to put in that work, you just want to send motherfuckers around and have motherfuckers be flunkies and minions for you, and they sense that there's a reluctance there for you to really take life, your ass is next on the menu. You have just put your ass on the menu as a motherfucking entree. So no, you can't be in the hood and have those type of niggas. They love to brag about the fucking fact, okay, you rappers, you this, that, woo, 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 you all of these things. You got niggas around you that will kill somebody for you. No, the niggas you have around you that will kill somebody for you will also kill you. I don't know how that ever escapes their mind. If you want better for yourself and your family, again, there's a million and one ways you can give back to your community without your black ass actually being in it. Being in it. You don't have a motherfucking thing to prove to any fucking body. I think, again, a lot of times that's where people get caught up. You trying to prove something to niggas that you ain't got to prove a motherfucking thing to. Because when it's said and done, a lot of times these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about you. So you're going over above and beyond to prove what to them? That you still hood? That you made it to Hollywood? But you from the hood? Okay, well, you know how I'm gonna prove? God, listen, Lord willing, if I ever listen, you know how I'm gonna prove to a motherfucker I'm from the hood? I'm gonna show you pictures of me growing up there. How about that part? I'm not gonna be there, and I'm not gonna have my motherfucking family still the fuck there. Damn sure not gonna have my grandchildren there. That's how I'm gonna show you. I grew up in the motherfucking hood. I'm gonna show you pictures of me as a little girl in the motherfucking projects. How about that part? Okay? Fuck all of that shit you talking. I just don't understand it. I remember when I saw that place, when I was seeing the news interviews, I'm like, okay, this is first of all is broad is they look like damn broad daylight. That did not look like handguns. It looked like to me weapons that had some sort of alterations to them solely for the purpose of them being able to take out more than one person. Certainly is more than enough to kill one person. You know, I really didn't do too much. I really didn't really look out those type of stories. I really don't, don't really interest me much. It's just another. It's like another person, another young person lost their life, and for what? So you can walk around a hood every motherfucking day for what reason? He shouldn't have been there. Yes, in a perfect world, you would be free to go any motherfucking where you want to go, but that's not the type of world that we live in, and that's just the fact of the matter. You're going to have to trim the fat. You might as well almost mentally, if you've decided you're going to start your own business, you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to do you. And I don't give a damn if you don't start your own business. If you've gotten a better job, if you graduated from college, if you grinding to save money to move to, no, you can't. No, you can't always. You're going to have to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to start trimming the fat. I don't give a goddamn. I'm not just talking about friends. If you got to trim the fat when it comes to your own goddamn family members, well, then that's what the hell you got to do. Your safety comes first. The safety of the children that you brought here comes first. The safety of the grandchildren that are that come from the children that you bring here come first. You can't be worrying about what motherfuckers in the hood are going to think, or what the person, or this nook and them that you grew up with, or pork chopping them that you grew up with. What them niggas are going to think? Fuck them niggas. Is your family safe? Is your spouse safe? Are your children and are your children safe? Other than that, no. Will motherfuckers try to guilt you? Absolutely. At the end of the day, what do you care more about? Do you care more about your goddamn immediate family? It's not that you don't care about your extended family, but do you care more about your damn immediate family and your goddamn safety than this motherfucker, than what a motherfucker thinks? I think some motherfuckers care more about what other motherfuckers think than they do their own flesh, their own the people that matter the most, or the people that should and are supposed to matter the most. I don't give a fuck what other motherfuckers think and what they feel. Not when it comes to mines, I don't. And it's in the safety of mines. You know what? And I tell my listen, I tell my and I tell my I give my sons I tell my sons the same thing. And diff I think what it becomes a challenge because it's a fine line between giving them advice and then micromanaging their life. Once they're adults, they make their own decisions. But it's always something that weighs heavy on a mother's heart. Doesn't matter whether it's your sons or your daughters. When you see them making decisions that you know may not be in their best interest and they don't want to listen, but you still have to allow them to make those decisions. That's sometimes they have to learn lessons the hard way. You can give them advice from sun up to sundown. It doesn't mean that they're going to take it. Doesn't mean that they're going to listen. They may not listen. They may have to learn some things the hard way. And I think as a mom or as a grandmom, you always pray that the way that they have to learn those lessons, you hope that, that they don't pay for those lessons with their life. That's pretty much what it boils down to, that they don't learn those lessons the way that young brother did down there, that got killed. I think it was in Georgia. Or the way young Dolph was, I don't understand why. When I looked around, I'm like, what the fuck was he doing? What was he even doing in the area like that? That's too, again, anytime you are a creature, that, why, how they were able to do that? Because he was a creature of habit. That's the result. When people run down on you in a place like that, that's the result of people knowing what your routine is. Knowing this is a place that you go to, knowing what days you go and do this, knowing when you go and do that, knowing what areas you frequent. And unfortunately, sometimes motherfuckers will lay on you. They will lay on you until you show up. All the more so if they're being paid to kill you. If they're being paid to kill you or paid to rob you, or if they're intent on robbing you, they're going to do a couple of dry runs. Even if it means casing the area out. I don't know what they call it now, basically. I'm old. So they, even if it means, surveying the lay of the land, to observe you, to see how you move, to watch what you do. Sometimes when it comes to certain stuff like that, they may not, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a person that you can recognize. It may be a person that they have laying on you. They can use an outsider. You don't know who this person is. Yeah, you know who the people are that you see all of the time, but you don't know whether or not they've brought somebody in from the outside. It could be from another state. It can be from another part of the city. You don't know. And they'll watch you to see what you do, to see where you go. They might catch you at a particular place that they anticipate you going to. They might not move out right then and there. They might wait till the next time, or they might let you get comfortable. You go to this club, okay, well, they might not hit you when you go in the club that night. Let's wait and see. Okay, let's look, and everything is on social media now. Okay, well, they got this flyer going around where this particular night people are going to be, this particular night people are going to be here because of this party or this particular event that's been highly publicized all over the place. Everybody that's anybody is going to be there. Okay, we're going to get them on that night. Very seldom do people, when you talk about something that's a high stakes, you know, that's kind of like a high stakes situation. And they're going to use, the reason why I say that is because they're going to use more caution with trying to run down on a person like that than they would the average person, because they don't know, you know what I mean? So that there has to be a person that knows something about you. They know how you operate. They've already been able to check your temperature and clock your movements. Where are these entourages that these people travel with? Where's your security guard? Where's your bodyguard? You know, especially if you're talking about places where Gordo Poppy TV is saying that in North Memphis, South Memphis versus Craig Pettis and CMG, I don't know anything about so I'm assuming that that's North Memphis gangs. I don't know anything about the North Memphis gangs. But if you have that sort of division, the question would be, what would that person be doing there without security? It's like the same thing. Okay, say for instance, you have North Philadelphia and South Philadelphia, even though yes, both are Philadelphia, but North Philadelphia and South Philadelphia, even though you may have family members in you can be from South Philly, you can have family members in North Philadelphia, you can be from North Philadelphia, and your folks can be in South Philly. North Philly and South Philly do not get along. You're not going to see niggas from South Philly coming down North Philly doing anything. You may see females travel back and forth, but you're not going to see a lot of South Philly dudes come down to North Philly and vice versa. You're not going to see South Philly dudes in North Philly, and you're not going to see North Philly dudes in South Philly, because it doesn't matter whether it's on the street, doesn't matter whether they don't get along within the penal institutions. They are separated. They're segregated within within the prisons. The same way how they group up in a community, they hang together. They hang together in prison as well. They don't fuck with each other. They may do business with each other, but that's the extent of it. As far as them hanging together, no, they don't. And the same thing with the females. North Philly females don't get along with South Philly chicks, and South Philly chicks don't care for North Philly chicks. It's the same way. They may get along. They both may get along with people from West Philly. They both may get along with people from Germantown. But whatever that is, and it's always been that way, as long as I can remember. You have other parts of Philadelphia that are that way too, but South Philly and North Philly, I would say that that's probably the thickest line of demarcation. And they even though we're in the same city, they move differently. You know, they there's where they're both Philadelphia, um, but they're different. So yeah, a lot of times they will pull a person. So when I say do business, yeah, that could be also okay. If somebody wanted to, say for instance, if you from South Philly and you want you want something done to somebody from South Philly, you might not pull a person from South Philly that people are going to know, because South Philly is like North Philly in that everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody, right? You talking about Philadelphia being made up of city blocks, so everybody knows everybody. And just like in uh South Philly and North Philly, most of the time you have generations of families that live within a couple of blocks of each other. It's the same place like that all over the place, but South Philly is a little bit more condensed, because you also have the areas where the Italians are. Okay, so South Philly is a little bit more condensed in that sense. But if you wanted to do something like that, you might have a business connection in North Philadelphia. You bring somebody in from North Philadelphia to come do it. So I think that type of stuff like that is a matter of a person being able to, for people just to pull up on you like that in a common place like that. That's because they knew either they tailed him there, and that was just the opportune time to hop out on him in that moment, either he had a tail there, but then that would mean that they had been laying on him for quite some time, and they were looking for an opportune time to be able to air him out. And even though they may be in a gang, just because they were in a gang, it doesn't mean that they don't get financial compensation to kill a person. You have instances of where even rival gangs will pay to have somebody killed, where they may not get along on any other sense, but they may come together for that particular criminal act. But again, this is the reason why you don't have people. It's not safe for a person that's not a celebrity in those type of neighborhoods. So why would it be safe for even a D-list celebrity, much less a A-list celebrity? You just have to be, you can't be afraid to trim the fat. And if you go back to your neighborhood, I think in that instance, it should be something where, like, okay, say for instance, if you were having a toy drive for children, there's nothing wrong with giving back. As a matter of fact, you should. It feels good when you do that type. It feels good when you're able to give back, especially if you have made it to those that are less fortunate. You could pay for another way that you could give back to the community is that you could have like a center. I think Mary J. Blige had one where you have instructors there to teach people how to write resumes and cover letters, and have computers there for those that may not have computers at home, even though now everybody does, you know, job applications and stuff like that over the phone. But you could have a service like that where they actually have people. You could do things like donate, uh, 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 not uniforms, but interview clothes for both men and women. You know, you could have somebody teaching them how to write resumes and cover letters, teaching them interview skills. It's a million and one ways you could give back. You can have clothing drives. Say for something like that, if you were going to have a clothing drive where, or if you were having a drive for school supplies or that kind of thing, that would be something that will be highly publicized. That you would have, you may have the media there, but you will also have your security there. I don't think it's anything wrong with that. But as far as you just walking around the motherfucking neighborhood, if it ain't safe for people that aren't celebrities to walk around like that, if it's dangerous for them, why the fuck would a celebrity be walking around the neighborhood like that? To prove to motherfuckers that they not afraid? Only to end up being killed? And then keep in mind, their family has to look at that shit. In the age of the internet, you know, I just seen I shared it on my community tab where a broad walked up. Was it in Memphis or was it Mississippi? One of them places like that. It was someplace in the South where this broad pulls up. Here it is. Your car can clearly be seen on camera. You pull up, it's witnesses there. She walks right up to the chick, shoots a point blank range in her fucking head, gets back in the car. As if your license plate wasn't going to be caught, I'm quite sure she ain't cover up a license plate. She ain't do nothing. Clearly, you're right there. You're visible on camera. There are people there that can that are witnesses to what you're doing. And the thing about it was, I don't know what the relationship was between these women, but earlier that day they had been to a funeral. So that's the reason why she was so apprehended so fast, because you had been to a funeral earlier that day. And she clearly just pulled up to where she knew the chick was at. The chick was out there, standing out there talking, and the broad just walks up to her, bow, just shoots her right in the head, and gets right back in the car and drives off like nothing ever happened. As if somebody wasn't going to know who she was. And sure enough, the way the cameras were positioned, she's caught right there on camera. That's like a prosecutor's dream homicide case, and she's going to spend the rest of her natural ass, the rest of her natural black ass, she's going to spend in prison, because that's first degree murder. Period. Ain't no second degree, ain't no manslaughter. That what she did, that's first degree murder. So her ass is going away to prison for the rest of her natural fucking life. Okay? And people had said that they had been at a funeral or something. No, Joe. I think they said she was from the Bronx. She was from New York. I would have to check my community tab, but I believe that they said that that's where she was from. Hmm. So again, and I use that as an example because again, these are not people. These people are not celebrities. So if it's not safe, um, to just be, and clearly you can see the people that were there prior to the lady getting shot. They was just congregating, just talking. It was guys out there, it was females out there, and they were just congregating, just shooting the breeze, just having everyday conversation. So if it's not safe in communities for people who aren't celebrities, it's not safe. And I think a lot of times they that's how they end up catching cases, because they are a celebrity. You come into a place, you always want to have people that just want to try you. If you rap about gangster rap, yeah, you're going to have a motherfucker that's going to try to test you to see if you really about what you rap about in your songs. It could be the neighborhood troublemaker. That's why it's not a good idea if you can rub elbows with celebrities, you don't have to go to those type of places. For what reason? I think my son was telling me a couple of months back that this younger boy who had just made it, this younger boy, I think my youngest son used to like him as a rapper. I think he was telling me something about it a couple of months back, and he was a very young person. I think he might have been about between 21 and 22. I mean 21 and between 21 and 23. He was another rapper where somebody had he had accidentally showed where his address was or something, or he showed something. And the next thing you know, motherfuckers are there at his house to rob him, or either it was something along those lines. It was another rapper that had happened to. Again, on fucking social media, you know, trying to show motherfuckers your newfound wealth, you know. And motherfuckers are plotting and scheming, you know? And that's just always I think that's always a risk that you take. So when it's okay, yes, that is his name, BA Superstar, Pop Smoke. And I remember my youngest son was so upset, and he was telling me about it. And I, I don't know why they feel the need to not want to know. You're not going to be able to take everybody with you. Just go ahead on and get that out your head. At some point, you're going to have to trim the fat. The minute that you get that inclination, when you sense that jealousy and that envious and that competitive spirit, and this is a person that you're supposed to be cool with, you got to go ahead on and cut them off. And that's just that. And not be afraid. Again, I think a lot of times people are well-meaning, and I think they have good hearts, and they don't want to feel like they don't want to feel like they don't want to feel like the money has changed them. Why can't you? It's your money. Why can't listen, I'm not gonna shop at the same places I do if I get money than I do when I'm a broke bitch. Sorry, not sorry. You're not supposed to be happy. You're not supposed to be excited. You're not supposed to be glad that, listen, on this day, I was a broke bitch. On this day, I got me some coinage. Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm not going to shop at the same place. So, yes, I'm going to be excited. Okay? You mean to tell me you're not going to be excited that a bitch that boosts ain't had to bring you a Coach motherfucking bag, or a bitch that do credit cards ain't had to bring you a Coach bag, and you can actually walk into the motherfucking Coach store and get you a motherfucking Coach bag, any bag you want? If you can go buy you a motherfucking Birkin bag, you're not going to be happy? Child, please. You're supposed to be excited, especially if you worked hard for it. If you worked hard for it, if you've grinded for it, if you're able to go and take a vacation to the places where you always wanted to go, it may be some place that's on your bucket list. Or if you're a younger person, you may have always wanted to travel all these different places. What the fuck are you supposed to do? Not tell anybody that you're not supposed to show any pictures? You're not supposed to be excited? I think the excitement gets the best of them, and they want to share that with everybody because they're happy. They're genuinely happy, and I think they want to share that with other people. It's not a matter of them being braggadocious all the time. They're excited. And I think the people that mean you well are going to be excited and happy for you. They're not going to be sitting around plotting and scheming about how they can rob you of that joy, of that happiness. No, snake-like motherfuckers are sitting around plotting and scheming about how they can rob you of that happiness, of that joy. Right, Joe? Listen, from Rainbow to Nordstrom's, you gonna be telling me shit. You be able to tell me shit, bitch. Nothing. Shit. You know? Be excited. You know? So I think a lot of times they get excited, and you know, in a perfect world, you would be able to be excited. I mean, and share that shit with other motherfuckers. Show people, look at my house, y'all, I'm glad. Look at my pool in the back. Look at this. Look at the way. Nah, you can't do, no. You got to show, you want to show, you can be happy. You can be excited. Show that shit to other people who got the same thing you got. Don't show that to the have-nots. Show that shit to the motherfuckers who got the same thing you got. if not more. Actually, surround yourself. You're supposed to surround yourself with motherfuckers who got more than what you got. Because sometimes that puts a fire under your ass. And you learn things from them. They may bless you with their knowledge or give you a business tip or point you in the right direction. That's the kind of thing that people who mean you well are actually going to do. You know, so no, nobody likes to feel no. Everybody's I think some people get intimidated by that whole um money has changed. You know, money has changed you. Well, you know, what are you supposed to do? Stay the same? You say, you know, again, that's a part of that cultural conditioning. You supposed to be the same motherfucker, or are you supposed to be the same motherfucker uh when you ain't have shit that you are? If you become a rich motherfucker, you're supposed to be the same motherfucker. No, you're not going to be. You don't have to be, and here's the whole thing: you don't have to be a person that shits on less fortunate people. You have lots of people that have money that give back, that do other things, humanitarian type of things, community-based things. They share their wealth. It's not an obligation. They do it because they're inclined to do so. It makes them feel good that they're not just hoarding shit, or you know, they're sharing it. You know, Aretha Franklin is one of my favorite singers. And sometimes when I go back and I watch those old I watch how she was when she was interviewed by certain people or by certain interviewers. And I remember thinking, how does a woman plan as extensively as she did for her own funeral? She planned her own funeral from start to finish. And we all know how grand her funeral was. But your relatives, your children, after you die, have to go through these long, drawn out battles over your estate because you don't have those affairs. You didn't take the time. If listen, if you didn't want the motherfuckers to have nothing, well, you could have said that in the will. You ain't there no more to see them feel some type of way about it. If you didn't want to give the motherfuckers a copper penny, you didn't have to. I was flabbergasted to realize that somebody that planned for a funeral of that magnitude, a going home service to that magnitude, knowing that the world will be watching, and nonetheless, your children have to fight in years in probate court over your assets because there wasn't as much effort put into this person gets this person may get nothing. I want this person to have this. I want my niece to have that. I want my son to have this house. I want my daughter to have that house. I want to leave that to my granddaughter. I just wasn't under that type of stuff. I'm flabbergasted. And you remember she has a son that's special needs that's basically been in a nursing home his damn near well, I don't know whether you're gonna call it nursing home, respite home, whatever, hospice, whatever, his whole damn near his whole entire life. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she made sure that he was taken care of. But I just didn't understand how a common law husband, or whatever the hell he was, your man friend or whoever, could just, have your children tied up. You have access to some of the best attorneys on the planet, right? And a A-list celebrity, and nobody, you didn't know that this person could contest that they're entitled to a portion of your assets. That's just crazy to me. But that's just a perfect example of, even when it comes to celebrities, your priorities are not in order. I would not want my children to be fighting with a hey Key. I would not want for my children to be fighting with a damn common law husband or no damn body else if I was that rich over my assets when I'm no longer here. If I wanted to leave something to the common law husband, I would take the time to make sure that if I wanted to leave him something, he would have it. I think it's absolutely fucking ridiculous to have your children fighting and fighting for over your estate after you're no longer here with a goddamn common law husband, or any fucking body for that matter. But you could plan a funeral down to the goddamn outfits you gonna wear. So even when it comes to celebrities, just fucked up priorities all the way around the board. Hey, Messy Vlog. Hey, Mia. I remember when I seen that, I said, "Are you fucking kidding me? You have got to be fucking kidding me." So no, if you don't have any damn thing else, you have to have. I don't give a goddamn if you only have a $10,000 damn life insurance policy. You damn well sure better make sure that you have a will. You should actually have a will, life insurance, and a living will. So if for whatever reason you're not able to communicate, if for whatever reason you're not able to communicate, you almost remove that, because sometimes, it may not be your desire to be kept alive by artificial means. You may not want to be resuscitated or left on life support. And your family, because again, it is natural that families they may have a reluctance to let go. They may feel, as long as your heart is still beating, even though your brain dead, you should be kept alive like that. So that kind of like removes that burden from them. It's the same thing with life insurance. You don't want to, God forbid, if you pass away, you don't want your family out here happening to beg people to put you in the ground. So not only that compounds the loss and their grief. So not only are they dealing with your death, it's enough for them to deal with your death. You don't want them to have to worry about burying you, taken from I don't want my children happening to worry about how they're going to pay their monthly expenses, take care of my grandchildren, and worry about paying for my funeral expenses. No, life insurance is not that expensive at all. At all. $25 a month. No, $25 a month. It doesn't cost that much. Some are even less than that. You know? So yo, I've been up here for 2 hours. And I had my second glass of wine. I'm gonna go ahead and it's 4:31 in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. You know, get my butt back in the bed. And I still got some more shopping to do. I haven't forgotten about the story that I'm covering, y'all, the William Earl Rayford story. I haven't forgotten about that. Um, when I go live tomorrow, that's what I'll be doing. I finished up the rest of the reading of the court documents because there was a death penalty case. So I read through. I like to when I cover the death penalty cases, I like to read the court transcripts, because it's always a lot of details that may not have made it into it may not have made it into the newspaper, and it may not have, if you watch live trial coverage, sometimes certain things are omitted. So I like to be able to read that to be able to get a more in-depth backstory, not only for the victim but for the defendant. And it just has a whole lot more. The reports are a whole lot more detailed. So I haven't been procrastinating for that. So like I said, over the next couple of days after I finish, I probably go live after I finish my shopping. I got a few more shopping trips to make, different places I have to go um over the next couple of days. But so I'll probably dedicate about an hour to covering that story. I may open up the panel for to discuss the story about maybe for about a half an hour, 45 minutes after I give my commentary. But that's what we want to cover tomorrow. So over the next couple of days, I'll be doing that. But oh yeah, it definitely is, Joe. You know, it's one of those jaw dropper type of stories. Um, I like cases that are interesting. That are all not always cut and dry. And for the person that asked in the chat, what I'll do is, as far as the young Dolph, uh, I'll watch a couple of see what information I can find on the young Dolph story, and we can talk about that a little bit. I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, so I don't go that deep into, the conspiracies and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of people doing that after Nipsey Hussle died. Um, that was really unfortunate, and it was sad to see a person that loved the community like that attempt to give back to the community by employing people in the community, by having a business in the community to make sure that the black dollar continues to circulate in the community. And here you have somebody from the community do that, and now your family is left to with that sort of memory. It's those type of that type of stuff just makes me angry, because it's disturbing to me. It's disturbing. But yeah, so that's what we'll do. You all enjoy, enjoy the rest of your morning. Okay, and I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later on. Thank you all for hanging out with me for the last couple of hours. I certainly appreciate you. Happy Sunday, everybody. Peace. Thank you, Blind Spot.